Well, it's 5 something in the morning. I'm just getting up. Yeah, this is how most days start for me. What I'm doing is, I have Hal over here, and I'm contacting, I can't really show Hal too much because I do use some commercial software, but I also design some software. And if you see it, if another programmer sees it, they'll recognize how I did it right away, and I plan on licensing and selling that part of the thing. But I'm over here at Hal, and I'm contacting all the Pink Floyd fans, and he's really slow nowadays. That is the funniest video. I did a cover of Nobody Home, Pink Floyd, and I really kind of bastardized it. Somebody said it good. They posted on it and said, man, I absolutely love this and hate it. And I'm the same way. I kind of, let me see here. I really liked it. It's kind of more Pink Floyd than Pink Floyd, sort of, but it's also, I think you have to be careful when you're bastardizing epic works like that, There it is. So that'll take a minute. 10,471. And those are people that have watched Pink Floyd videos, Pink Floyd covers, have rated, commented, subscribed, and also indicated that they don't mind being contacted. It took them about an hour to do that alone. That's really slow. But yeah, it's the kind of thing where I need to warm my tea up. That video has gotten, I'll be back, Hal, the least amount of thumbs up, or no down, least amount of thumbs up of anything I've done in the last forever. Usually it's the first day there's almost 1,000 hits and 100 thumbs up. This one has like 11 or 12 thumbs up and maybe 300 to 500 hits. And I think really what it is people don't, just like with Mercy Street, I put a Disney video on it. It's a very slick audio production, an audio file production, really high quality. In fact, crank that up and try it and tell me that don't sound great. Tell me that does not sound great. Don't. So I think people hit my site and think, well, this asshole's just featuring something somebody else did, or he's featuring a commercially available professional thing, I think it confuses people a little bit. So that's understandable, and then also who you present it to. Like, I was presenting, making friend requests to, what is that band's name? I don't really like them. Oh, Marilyn Manson people when, when I posted that Peter Gabriel thing, and there was a lag. And so Marilyn Manson fans were presented with this sappy Peter Gabriel song and sappy video. The song's epic, but it could be seen as sappy and as a Disney product or something. So that one received the most thumbs up and down. A lot of times haters try to fuck you up, but they actually help you. How many times have we all been to a site where you see a video and you're like, man, this is awesome, and then you go, oh, what fucking asshole gave this a thumbs down? And I'll do it all the time. I'll be like, I'm giving it a thumbs up just to, make a statement against assholes. So sometimes I thought, I thought a thumbs down in my own stuff, and I just to get that going, but I don't. But I didn't thumbs up or down my stuff. Now I thumbs up it when I first post it, because it's kind of like an auction, opening the bidding, where it's like, and who will give me $100? It's like saying it's worth something. It's just psychologically saying, hey, that's, somebody else liked it. The only reason that the ratings, the thumbs are important, and really not very important except in the start of the file and then somewhat overall. But how many times have we all been to a site and we were going to watch a video? I know, and I put substantial thought into some of these things, we see that there's thumbs down, a lot of them on a video, and I'm like, oh, this isn't worth my fucking time, I'm out of here. So haters know that, and they try to torpedo you at first, although I don't have many haters. The last batch I figured out down to the, it actually kind of touched me in a way, because I figured out down to, I got it an obsession, and I tracked down to the city, town, street, house, room, and person that had given me. One person came along on Mercy Street and gave me, they actually had 8 accounts and gave me all 8 thumbs down, and then another person came along and gave 4, all from their account. And when I figured out who it was, one person just didn't like Mercy Street or Disney, but the other 2, it was somebody that I had known years ago, an involvement with an ex-girlfriend who's trying to be a musician and is particularly not very good. And I couldn't believe she still even remembered me or somehow found me after all these years. But her boyfriend had helped her do that. I don't know what they thought they were going to. Anyway, fuck the thumbs. So yeah, it's all about who you present the stuff to. And I mean, YouTube is so, how can I say this, it's so vast, and it's sort of, out of everybody Hal contacts, 1 person out of 100 comes back, and and then, so, to get 1,000 hits, I'm bad with decimal points, especially in the morning. Anyway, 1 out of 100 comes back, so there he goes. He's grabbing a bunch more stuff now. 1% come back. So if there's 45,000 hits on my site, that means I've contacted 4.5 million. Wait a minute. Decimal points, and I'm foggy right now. I think it's 4.5 million people, or slide the decimal over. Anyway, it's 1% that comes back. Percent being parts per 100. People say 1,000%. It's actually incorrect. I'm actually going to go Pink Floyd and Nobody Home and contact everybody who's ever watched that, because I'm curious what people think about this. But it's just so vast that most people take a friend request as an opportunity to spam you with sort of just a meaningless video. And most people aren't wanting to be professionals and so on. What is today? 10/31. Yeah, I keep a log of everybody that's contacted and the and so on, so I can see how the sends affected the hits and the thumbs and the comments and stuff. Because the only reason, though, it's not like I crave that or anything. It's just those are kind of important if you want notoriety and you want to sort of be noticed. But it's just so vast that it's incredible. I mean, a lot of the people, when videos go viral, I'm actually hoping to score some hits with covers that go sort of viral or at least become known on their own. But a lot of people don't realize that when videos go viral, there are huge marketing companies behind every one of those. Because YouTube's so vast, even if people start spreading it around, and they do, you try to start a fire, spark up a fire, you know, like a spark, and make it turn into a fire, but that could take years, literally years on YouTube, even with the coolest video. And so there are marketing companies and software and all kinds of stuff that if you see what already, no way. If you see a video that's viral, a lot of times that was sparked off by a marketing company. And let me see here. That song is a particularly sort of obscure song on the wall, so, and I really did something really cool with it, and we'll see. I mean, it is, and I can see it as being completely brilliant and completely also sparking other people's ire about it, you know. And also my thoughts on that are it would be hard for me to cruise to somebody's site and see them doing a sort of a touching Pink Floyd song with a beat. Just because it's not Pink Floyd is enough to make me hate them, you know. And also, I'm not, in addition, I don't like using the same word over and over, but I'm not really that close to that one. I did it a few weeks ago. It came together. I did the entire wall in an evening or a couple of nights. And so I'm not really close to those. They are what they are. They all came out really, really, you know, great and sounding good and all of that. But I'm not really, I'm not close to them. I just burned out totally on the wall. I mean, the thing about Pink Floyd is that makes them sort of epic, and people who get music will get this, is that they took highfalutin art and brought it to the common man in such a way that it's accessible. So even the biggest idiot drunkard, you know, loves Pink Floyd, and it's sort of high art brought to the common man. Everybody loves them. Metallica fans to, you know, Boy George fans. Everybody loves Floyd. I may do their entire catalog, and it just cuts through all boundaries. They're one of those artists. I thought Peter Gabriel was too, and he kind of is, but he also has all of this sort of Bob Geldof-ish type stuff that he does, and that's the other thing about that song, Mercy Street. I did. A lot of the comments were about, and I'm all for it, you know, charity and helping people and so on, and being a good global citizen, but that also turns people off and pisses them off. But yeah, this Floyd song has gotten the least amount of thumbs up or down or hits, and that's my fault. I got lazy with Hal yesterday. It takes so long sometimes. I just said, oh, fuck it. I don't care what anybody thinks. But I'm curious. On the other level of that, it sounds great, and it is a really neat reworking of the song. If I went to somebody's site, I would either, as one guy I know said, he absolutely loved it and hated it. And I said, I agree. He posted that. But I would give the person a definite thumbs up for effort and for, you know, for loving Pink Floyd and for doing that to that song, you know, reworking them. So we'll see. Doesn't mean much to me. I mean, the thumbs, I get obsessed, but I got obsessed with Mercy Street last week because it's something so obviously excellent, you know, and not just because I did it, but standing back going, that is really good, you know, get like one person giving you a dozen thumbs down, it's just like, you know what, fuck you, I want to murder you. So, you know, the isolation here is, I'm completely isolated. I talked to somebody like maybe 12 hours a year, and that's gone on for several years, And even when I had cancer and was really sick and stayed with my mom, I would hide out in the bedroom because they're just on such another level of reality than me. They couldn't possibly get me. And so her husband is one of the most evil people I've ever met. She married an old man. He's a lech and a leech and a scumbag, and basically she takes care of him hand and foot 24 hours a day. She can't even go to the bathroom without this fucker like browbeating her. It's just it's so fucked up. But I would hide out in the bedroom, sicker than fuck, and stay away from them. So even when I stayed with her exactly 1 year, I think, and I just stayed completely. I didn't even talk to him when I was there much, It's just that is what it is. I mean, to be on the level I was at, I had houses and cars and wives and a big, wonderful life, in the recording industry, and then to be cast down to where an 80-year-old foul fucking old man who just thought I was the biggest piece of garbage he'd ever laid eyes on. His advice for me: I'm sick, cancer, trigeminal neuralgia, alcoholic at that time, in bad shape, could barely walk, and every time my mom, sometimes now she can't leave him alone at all, ever, even to go to the bathroom. He's got to be in on that. I've never spoken to her alone. But his advice to me was she would go to church without him and leave me there to watch him. And he'd be like, well, we got to get you a hotel room, now you got to just go get yourself in a hotel room. It's like, dude, I came here to fucking die and give my shit to my mom. You're not any part of this. He's one person I literally... I'm not even going to mince words. I could split his fucking skull wide open and drag his body out in the fucking... I wouldn't even bother to bury it. I'd drag it away from the house like we used to do animal carcasses. And just, he's so evil. He really is evil. He's so selfish. Anyway, I've never met a more self-centered, evil person. I have a million stories on just how degrading that was, to have to put up with somebody like that. I had the whole thing going on, and maids and service people. I had a couple of maids that would come over and do anything in the French maid outfits and shit. It was awesome, and that wasn't my idea. They were like, well, we're going to clean the house. We can clean the house for 4 hours, or the bedroom really well with you in it for 1. Get it? I had to stop that because the house wouldn't get cleaned. I'd be like, no, do the house, not me. But little connivers. Man, he's taking long today. So the isolation has been what a lot of people don't realize is that we take our wonder how long that is. Does it say? 1834. I'm good. People will hang for a long time with these, and if they don't, that's fine. When I was in school, I always wanted to be a psychologist and study, or psychiatrist, and study people's music and knowing why people think what they think, and how when I was a kid I had all these epic feelings, and I thought, I want to understand this, what's going on, how life works. And I was part of a study that I helped design in college, and the gist of it is about isolation, and they do it a lot to prisoners of war, people you're trying to get information out of, because we take all of our cues of, like, really overall, to set an overall precedent or whatever for what is going on around us, and to just feel okay and safe. We take those cues from other people a lot, and your health is just defined as your mental health, your physical health, and your social health. And if any one of those suffers, any one of the three suffers, then if your social health suffers, for instance, your mental health and your physical health will actually suffer. That's according to the World Health Organization. So anyway, I was part of a study that I helped design about isolation in school, and it took a couple of years, and it took some money and insurance clearances. Anyway, we got a location like that was under construction on the grounds. I can't say the place because there's some non-disclosure stuff involved. But I volunteered to do a run-through of complete isolation, and it was my idea to put behind a grate, a steel mesh, a television where we could also, to the people who volunteered, where we could also kind of send them certain broadcasts. And so you're completely locked in. You have no human contact. You can hear what they're saying in the hallway, which is an effective tool. And it was to show how we take our cues of well-being and overall everything, our context of everything, from others. And to a lesser degree, the situation. Is it raining? Is it whatever, Is it cold? Is it hot? And so I'm locked in there, can't get out, and I'm aware of what's going on. And I probably missed some of the details. Anyway, I'm doing the run-through. I go in there, they lock me in, and you're completely isolated. And they also make loud noises and do all kinds of stuff, the temperature, to keep you from being comfortable, to keep you from sleeping. So, they kept making loud banging noises in the hallway. Then on the television, it would pop on and off, and I was an audio-video guy then as well. It was my idea to design certain broadcasts in a certain way to suggest certain things. So I hadn't, and 20 days in, I hadn't slept really much, and hadn't eaten well or drank, and it was just everything to make you uncomfortable and isolated. And I was just completely exhausted, and the television popped on, and it was like, downtown Los Angeles is on fire, a massive evacuation is underway, and then it would kind of, downtown Los Angeles is on fire, a massive evacuation, from a broadcast they had edited together of a real newscaster, And then they actually had the president involved. This is an epic, president at that time. I think it was Bush the first, or the second. And no, it wasn't. It was the first, yeah, way long. And anyway, he's like, this is a tragic situation. Thousands have been evacuated. So anyway, I had nobody to talk to about this, or no cues to go on. And this went on for a day and several hours, and they turned the heat up, and they kept banging on stuff, and I hadn't slept in weeks now. And anyway, I had nobody to go, is downtown Los Angeles on fire? What's happening? What's going on? I only had myself, and I knew about the experiment I was involved in. I was really doing a run-through. And I can't say the university because there was some litigation, not by me, but other people over this. And anyway, on day 21, I lost my fucking mind. They put a bucket of hay in the hallway and set it on fire. And when I smelled the smoke and all my current information, and the heat was up, and I couldn't see out, all my current information told me that the building I was in was on fire, and any second I was going to be burned to death, And there were big grates over the windows made of you couldn't see out, but it was translucent, marred, translucent plexiglass, and I actually tore. They wouldn't let me out, and I could smell the smoke. I could feel the heat. I hadn't slept. I saw the TV broadcast, hearing all these loud noises, And I was a strong, young, healthy person. I actually tore the nails off, 3 of my fingers, trying to tear these grates off the window to get out, because I had nobody to talk to about it, And we had also set it up where 4 big guys who played football, huge guys, about that time the door burst open and these 4 big black guys came running in and tackled me down, and Doc came in and gave me a shot of Valium. And even 2 years later, it took a year to a part of me still believed, no, this is real, the building is on fire, these fuckers are trying to kill you, all kinds of stuff, And so anyway, that was heavy, it's needless to say. But even 2 years later, there was a part of me, that part kept remembering. I realized in reality, no, that was not happening. But there was a part of me that would kept flipping back and forth that would go, yes, that was happening. And, classic, paranoia, fear type thing. Everybody's against you, they're trying to kill you. And it took a couple of years for that to wear off. So it's the same thing in war. I've been involved, I used to do security, and I've been involved in a couple of situations where you have to draw and fire your gun and take care of business quickly. And those decisions are so vast and epic that in war, the thing that makes people fight is if you're alone in a country you don't really know, and you're asked to pull your weapon and kill people and shoot and go around and do all these things, these horrendous things, the cue that people take is from the chain of command, and the officers and the people around you are saying, well, yes, this is the thing to do. I mean, and it sounds really like, well, all this is very simple. No, it's not. When everybody around you is saying, yes, this is the thing to do, it's okay, pull your weapon, kill, you're much more likely to do it than if you're alone making those decisions. It's a mob mentality. So here, alone in this place, it's difficult for me to keep sort of a frame of reference. I constantly have to reference against what's happening. And I'm running a tiny little bitty music site on a huge internet that's not all that important. It's number one, to bear that in mind. It's just not that important. I'm recreating epic works, covering them and changing them, putting my style on them. Hopefully one day, since the quality is really every bit as good as the originals, hopefully one day, better usually by quite a bit, somebody will notice what I've done, and under the circumstances I've done it. But people who, I have a mailing list that has only 12 people on it. And they're people I know in real life that are considered friends. And actually know me a little bit. You know how many of those people have watched more of my videos or commented or rated or even took notice? 0. It's that kind of a thing. And that's really sort of... There's a lot of stuff involved with that, but really what it is people sort of assume that they know you, what you're capable of, and who you are, and they see you in a certain frame of reference. And admittedly and personally, I'm putting Hal to contacting even more. I usually do 30 to 50,000 contacts a day. Of that, 300 to 500 come back. Of that, my math was fuzzy a minute ago. 300 to 500 come back, and of that, usually I get 100 ratings and comments, and then another, as well as 100 emails or so. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much here. And I also, people saw me when I was working. I mean, people saw me as oh, that's Eric the engineer, that's Eric the producer, that's Eric the guitar player, that's Eric the arranger, different people in different ways. And it was inappropriate a lot of times for me to say, well, hey, I also do this or this. I'm producing a band. It's inappropriate for me to jump in and go, hey, I play drums a whole lot better than you. I play bass a whole lot better than you. I play guitar much better than you. And I sing better than you. Instead, you kind of go, well, you bring out the best in them. It's not there to showcase your talent. So a lot of the time, all the time, for years, 30 at least, people would know me as Eric, the mastering engineer, Eric, the producer. They didn't know, oh, he also does these other things, and pretty well, you know. So part of this has been, there's people who are better musicians on the internet. There's people who are better everything, but I haven't found anybody that can incorporate it and do it all and bring it all together, produce it in the end, in the way that I can. I know there's other people, but it's like not. I haven't really ran into that any at all. I run into musicians that are much better than me every day, but they don't have the ability to produce and bring it together, so they're going to remain at the level they're at, you know. And oh, there it is. Anyway, you know, it's kind of sad, and I don't have the time to produce everybody who's worthy of, you know, really great, you know, who's worthy. I love that movie, Spinal Tap. I don't know why I thought of it last night. One of my favorite lines is, do you think you guys will ever, you know, play together again when they break up? And he goes like, no, we shan't work together again. I need to cover a Spinal Tap song. He makes this epic sweeping statement, you know, based on just complete, you know, resentment and annoyance, and sort of just, you know, makes this statement of, for the ages, that's just so not true, you know, and not well thought out. No, we shan't work together again. You know, he's anyway, work continues. I'm going to have a couple of cups of tea and jump right back into some of the things I'm doing. Probably won't post this one, I don't know. I'll have to take a look. Anyway, people, poltergeist ending. People, this house is clear.